A warm welcome to our autumn Totum talks. I'm very pleased today to be joined by Stephen Allen of DLA Piper and Mark Smith of LexisNexis. They've both come along today to share some of their views on what is going on in a very changing and rapidly developing legal sector.
My name is Stephen Allen. I'm the Head of Market Strategies at DLA Piper. My role is international, which means I work with DLA globally, save for the Americas. My role is three-pronged. One is looking at how we position ourselves and how we price our work in the market. There's a lot of work around fixed pricing, right pricing, that sort of thing. The second part of my role is around making the firm more efficient, so process re-engineering the work we do today for clients so we can do that more effectively. And then the third part of the role is more long-term, which is what's our delivery model need to look like in 3 to 5 years' time.
So I'm Mark Smith from LexisNexis, and I'm the Market Development Director for large law firms, which means I am effectively the voice of the market, the voice of the customer within our business, and it's my job to really understand the market and know what's going on, know what our customers need. After I qualified, I practiced as a lawyer for 10 years. I worked in national and city firms and then moved in-house to an American outsourcing company where I looked after their international team. And after that, I did an MBA and moved into the business and then spent some time consulting with law firms and working for a legal process outsourcer before I joined LexisNexis.
Bar the whole cost issue, and which we've talked about a bit, you're both talking to GCs regularly. What other things are you getting back from general counsel about what they want from their legal providers, bar more for less?
So one of the things that we're seeing now with GCs, definitely a need for different pricing. And to my mind, there's a real gap in the marketplace in that a lot of law firms are really trying with their pricing, but what we're hearing from the GC market is it's not giving them what they want. And typically those pricing conversations are coming at a time when there's a transaction already underway, and the GC and the law firm typically don't have time then to fix the pricing. And so while some law firms are engaging people with that expertise like Stephen, there are a lot where there's just a gap in the market for that skill. So pricing is definitely one. More options around service delivery is definitely another one. And it's not just about location, it's about, is it a project base, is it project management, is it particular skill set, how are we going to engage rather than just give us the work and we'll do the whole piece for you. I think the final one we're seeing is clients being much more discerning about what work goes where, and they're taking the decisions about how to disaggregate work. So even down to where perhaps 3 or 4 years ago, people were starting to understand that we can separate due diligence out on a transaction or the discovery element on litigation. I was talking to a partner this week who said he has one client who now will call him up for specific advice on a set of clauses on a deal, and the rest of the deal will be done elsewhere. So they're really starting to unpick the work and get it done at the right place at the right price.
Stephen, you've got heavy involvement in the pricing side at DLA Piper.
Yeah.
What are your views on all of this?
So I think Mark's absolutely right, and it's probably more complicated for a firm like DLA Piper than it is for other firms, in that we have such a reach regionally across our client and practice bases and then internationally as well. So for us, we talk a lot about right pricing. It's really about understanding where the client is, where the work is, what kind of work it is, what kind of resources we need to do the work, and coming to a price that's right and fair and represents a good deal for the client. So sometimes that will be less, but sometimes there are cases where we've been on a panel for 15, 20 years. We're compared every time there's a panel renewal to where we were 5 years ago. As a firm, you look at, we did more M&A deals last year than anybody else. We're an entirely different firm. And sometimes there's a need to go back to the clients and say, look, we're not saying for all of our work, but for this work we're doing that we wouldn't have been doing for you 5 years ago, this is who we're coming up against. Let's have a discussion around cost. And actually, clients, first of all, we're finding clients are ready to have very grown-up conversations about that if you go with the evidence and the proper appropriate case. Secondly, because we've got the ability to leverage geographically, even though we might be asking for a price increase, it might be against our partners in Leeds who are able to do London work at a really effective rate. So it's all about right pricing and understanding what the client needs. And that's kind of the first piece. And then there's a whole series of things we've got to do after that. But I think that's addressing a market need now. On the disaggregation point, clients are doing it because they have to and because firms haven't responded. I think ultimately clients would still prefer firms just to take that problem away. And I think we're seeing a number of clients trying to force the issue.
Stephen, Mark, thank you very much.